They tried to evict me from my own ranch because I locked my gate. No, really. They sent legal papers, had a lawyer, filed complaints. All because I dared to keep my cattle in and their noses out. And when it all came crashing down, the cop reviewing the case nearly fell out of his chair laughing. That's how ridiculous it got. But it sure wasn't funny while it was happening. 5 years ago, I bought a 15-acre ranch outside a quiet town in Clearwater County, Texas. Just me, some cattle, and my German shepherds, Duke and Max. I was fresh out of the service, 3 tours in Afghanistan behind me, and all I wanted was a patch of land to heal on. No neighbors breathing down my neck, no sirens, no sudden bangs in the night. Just birds, wind, and the creak of my old front porch. And for the most part, that's what I got. Peace, quiet, the occasional neighbor stopping by to borrow tools or share gossip. I'd help when fences broke or storms knocked down trees. I wasn't looking for trouble. But trouble came looking for me, driving a pearl-white SUV with a license plate that practically said, "I run this town." Her name was Victoria Langford, president of the Brookpines Estates HOA, a title she wore like a tiara. Bleach blonde, perfect manicure, and a smile that could curdle fresh milk. She pulled up one afternoon, honking like a maniac at the gate I'd just installed. Now let me be clear. This gate was on my land, 20 feet inside my property line, automatic keypad, cleared with the fire department, tested for emergency access. Just a standard safety measure to keep my livestock in and strangers out. Victoria rolled down her window maybe 2 inches. "Jack," she said, like we were old friends, "I see you've made some changes." "Nice gate," I said. "Keeps the cattle in." "Well," she replied, tapping her steering wheel like it insulted her, "this violates HOA emergency access guidelines. I'm going to need you to remove it." I laughed, couldn't help it. "Victoria, my ranch ain't part of your HOA, never was. This is agricultural land." Her smile vanished. "Everything in this area falls under our jurisdiction. That gate is an eyesore and a hazard. Remove it, or we'll have you evicted." Evicted from my own land, that I paid for, maintained, and lived on alone. I told her, politely at first, there was no legal way she could do that. She hissed back through her cracked window, "You don't know who you're messing with. My son's in real estate law, and we know people at City Hall." Then she peeled out of my driveway, kicking up gravel and damn near taking out my mailbox. And I swear to God, I caught someone taking pictures from the trees. Hoodie, slouching, backwards cap. Victoria's son Ryan. Amateur hour. That night, I checked the security cameras I'd just installed and saw headlights creeping past at 2 a.m. Someone was watching me. But I wasn't afraid. I'd faced worse in the mountains of Kandahar. I just didn't expect the enemy this time to be wearing pearls and running an HOA. 3 days later, I get an envelope in the mail. Return address, Langford and Associates. Inside, an official eviction notice. 30 days to vacate for violating HOA community regulations. They'd somehow claimed my ranch was under their authority. Never mind, I never signed a thing, never paid a fee, and bought the land years before their cookie-cutter homes existed. I drove straight to the county clerk. Property maps, land records, original HOA charters. Turns out agricultural lots over 5 acres were specifically excluded from the HOA zone. Not even a gray area. And yet, she was trying to steal my land with a piece of paper and a smug grin. I took the evidence to my neighbor, Angela Foster, a retired civil attorney. She sat me down, poured me coffee, and said, "Jack, you're not the only one." She had a folder, thick with emails, correspondence, HOA meeting minutes. Victoria had been in talks with a developer, Harbor Gate. They wanted to buy out every large rural parcel around Brook Pines to build condos and strip malls. Victoria got a finder's fee for each property sold. Mine was the crown jewel. 15 acres meant $500,000 in commission. In one email she wrote, "Jack Sullivan just installed a gate. Pressure needed." That's when I decided, if she wanted war, I'd give her war. I sent a certified response. Legal citations, boundaries, harassment notices. Hand-delivered a copy right to her door with a wave to her security camera. Thought that'd be the end. 2 days later, Ryan shows up. Parks his beat-up Civic across my gate, blocking me in. Sits there grinning at my cameras. I call the sheriff. While I'm waiting, he climbs the gate and gets zapped by the electric wire I use for the cattle. Nothing dangerous, just enough to make him yelp and tumble into the ditch. His phone went flying. His pride probably still hasn't come back down. Deputy Martinez shows up, watches the footage on my laptop and says, "Son, you want me to arrest him or tow the car first?" I'll never forget Ryan's face as he muttered something about, "My mom owns this neighborhood," before peeling out like a cartoon villain. And yet, they doubled down. Victoria filed a $1 million lawsuit against me for emotional distress and public endangerment. Said I'd militarized the property. She even photoshopped my gate to look like a prison. That's when Angela and a couple other neighbors stepped forward. Frank Morrison, a fellow vet, showed me 3 years of complaints Victoria had filed against him. Noise, flags, the smell of his workshop. Dorothy Williams, sweet 72-year-old widow, told us Victoria forged her signature on HOA rules that would have forced her to shut down her backyard egg business. That coop was the last thing her late husband built. Angela started building a case. I hired a private investigator, Jim Hawkins, ex-cop, no patience for nonsense. What he found was gold. Victoria was drowning in debt. 2 failed marriages, unpaid property taxes, 3 months behind on her own mortgage. Her son, Ryan, arrested twice for vandalism, once for cyber-stalking. Charges dropped thanks to Mommy. Then came the nail in the coffin. Marcus Thompson, former HOA security guard, fired for refusing to plant violations. He had recordings. Victoria's voice clear as day, telling him to sprinkle roofing nails, find rat droppings, make life hell. And then she killed Duke. One night I saw red paint sprayed across my gate. "Get out!" Lying nearby was Duke, foam around his mouth, already cold. Toxicology report said rat poison. The same brand found in Victoria's garage during a police sweep. I didn't want revenge. I wanted justice. And I got it. In court, I wore my dress blues, stood tall, let my medals do the talking. Her lawyer tried painting me as a dangerous recluse. I showed them footage of the fire truck passing through my gate, then played Ryan's viral video, him getting zapped and falling into the ditch. The courtroom burst out laughing. Even the judge cracked a smile. And then we dropped the bomb. Marcus's recordings, Angela's documents, the emails with Harborgate. When I pulled out Duke's autopsy report, Victoria finally snapped. "I did it for the community," she screamed. "You people are ruining everything. I was promised a seat on the board." The judge dismissed the case immediately, called for detectives to detain her. Turns out she'd been under investigation for racketeering for months. My lawsuit, the final puzzle piece, but she wasn't done yet. Days later, health inspectors show up at my ranch with Ryan in tow. Claims of biohazards, diseased livestock. We follow his footprints straight to a pile of human waste and rotting garbage he planted behind my barn. The idiot stepped in it and tried to lie while covered in his own setup. Then his phone buzzed with a text from his mom. "Did you plant everything?" They arrested him on the spot. Final scene. Victoria drunk, trespassing at Dorothy's place, trying to force her to sign land transfer papers. She got chased by chickens, tripped into a goat fence, and collapsed into Ryan's car just as he arrived to take her to booking. The whole thing live-streamed. Toilet rule Karen gets wrecked by chickens trended for a week. Victoria's now in federal prison. 8 years, restitution to all victims. Ryan's doing community service, teaching seniors about cyber safety of all things. Angela's now HOA president. Rewrote the rules so this never happens again. And me? I've still got my ranch. My gate stays locked, and I installed a new plaque on it. This gate's for Duke, and for every neighbor who stood their ground. So, was it justice or just revenge?